Edward here from earviewer.com. I have another video for you. I'm continuing along experimenting with this old remote viewing technique called associative remote viewing, or ARV. And again, I'm using it in an attempt to answer some big questions that I have. ARV is typically used for sports betting and stuff like that. If Team A, if this team wins, I'll describe target A. If that team wins, I'll describe target B, and that kind of thing. I've done that for a long time. I'm not interested in that. But I'm exploring and experimenting with some big questions that I have about the future and war and the use of nuclear weapons and that kind of thing. And one of the previous experiments that I did was, will the United States and Russia will the United States be in a declared state of war with Russia within the next 14 months? A big question I have, very hot topic right now, all over the news, hot situation going on over there. And some feedback that I got was someone pointed out that the United States has not declared war since 1941. So Congress has not declared war since 41, even though we've been in the Korean War, Vietnam War, several Gulf Wars. So that really was interesting to me. That I was very adamant in that project that would we be in a declared state of war? I was very interested in that, and specifically with that word, declared state of war. And the answer that I got was no. I described the target associated with the answer no. And so we'll see what happens. Congress may not declare war, and we may still go to war with Russia. So we'll see how that plays out. But it brought up more questions for me than answers. So the next question that I have is a big question, a very big question. And so this project that I put together, I referenced it as Project 9471. And the question that I have is the reality that we exist in a computer simulation? And if we are existing in a computer simulation, I will describe image A. And if we are not existing in a computer simulation, I will describe image B. It's a big question, big topic right now. There are some physicists who are deeply exploring this, and even some that are finding within their mathematic equations, in their whatever they're doing, in the quantum physics mathematical equations, they're finding some type of binary code, some ones and zeros or something somehow. I don't know how it all works. But this is my question. It's an old question. It's been around for a long time. After completing this project, doing my own research into it, and finding that even the discussions between Plato and Democritus are along the same line, meaning that Democritus was a materialist, and that everything was composed of atoms, and Plato was his philosophy was idealism, that these things only exist in our minds, and they're only representations of things, and that kind of thing, abstract mental forms, and that kind of thing. And I was talking to my friend Dustin, a fellow remote viewer who lives in Houston, Texas. He was telling me that Vedic texts, ancient Vedic texts, also have the same arguments in there about the nature of our reality. So it's a big thing. Einstein and Niels Bohr argued about this. Einstein was fundamentally a materialist as well. Niels Bohr was not, that something different was happening, something non-local was taking place, and Einstein was very much against this idea. And the theories of Niels Bohr and the other physicists of his era were out to prove that these things were real, that non-locality was real, that we have more questions about the nature of our reality than we have answers, and there may be something different taking place here. So these are big questions. This is a big question that I had. And so how I set this up, I set this up in a specific way to check and test several different theories that I have. And how I set it up was, I had the answer, or the question, I had everything else set up. I did not ask my friend Dustin to select the targets yet. He didn't even know I was doing this project. I had not asked him yet. So I developed the question, and I did the session. I did the session for it. And after the session, I sent a text to my friend Dustin to ask him if he could select 2 targets for me for an ARV project that I was doing, that I would be doing the session the next day. So he didn't know that I had done the session, he didn't know the question or anything like that. And so he said, yeah, okay, no problem, I'll do it. The next day he sent me a text saying, here's the targets, the targets are ready. I sent him an image of the first session that I had done before asking him. And he sent me a text back saying that there was no match. It didn't match either of the targets. So I had to think about that for a while. Say, okay, that's very interesting. I got a pretty good track record, but he didn't tell me anything else. I did not talk over the phone or anything like that. It was just a text saying there's no match. So I found that very interesting. So I said, hold it. So I sent him a text back saying, hold those targets. I'm going to do another session. So I did another session, and there was a match. So now I have to wonder about what happened in the first session. I mean, it could be that I just was off, nothing, and I was wrong. But what if something different happened? As I continue to research, this simulation theory, it comes to some of the experiments that have been done by these physicists, like the double slit experiment, where if electrons are fired through a double slit, if they're observed, they change their properties. They change from particles to waves because they're observed. So the observation of something has an effect on these particles. So when we observe something, our reality changes, basically. And so I began to wonder if, because Dustin did not know that I was doing this project and I did the session first, did that have an effect on the targets that were selected? Meaning, if I ask him to select targets for me, and he is now aware of the project, even though he doesn't know what the question is, but because he is now aware of the project, did that affect my first session? I don't know, but it brings up a lot of questions for me. Here is Dustin now after I had done the second session, after he had already selected the targets. Here he is opening the targets after seeing an image of my session.
Okay, it is Thursday, October 20th, 1:13 a.m. I am checking Edward's ARV session number 9471. What I see here is this motif, this flower motif here and here. I have not seen the video, I just see the still that he sent me. What stuck out to me was this idea of people standing still, voices, picture, camera, this idea of beauty, life around it, representing life, people, and then this obvious motif here. So we're going to look at envelope A. Envelope A contains an image of an alleyway in Lisbon, Portugal. Envelope B contains Ang Suu Key. She is the ambassador for Myanmar. A lot of her images, pictures taken of her, have this floral arrangement in her hair, which is kind of her signature. She's Buddhist, and she's kind of the hope of Myanmar and Burma. So what I see here is B.
So we can see that after the targets had been selected and I did another session, there was a hit, there was a match. The target again that seems to match was an image of a humanitarian, a Nobel Peace Prize winner and Burmese statesperson, Aung San Suu Kyi, who was a humanitarian and as Dustin described in his video, she is known for wearing these flowers in her hair, and that was a shape form that was very prominent in my session. And so if I go by the results of this project that the answer to my question is associated with image B, then we are not living in a computer simulation. But just like the results that I got from the will the United States and Russia be in a declared state of war, the verbiage is maybe wrong for my question regarding are we in a simulation. So now I have to kind of think about this. Maybe we are not living in a computer simulation. Maybe we're living in some kind of simulation, but maybe it is not a computer simulation. And my use of the words computer, specifically computer simulation, may have gotten me the correct answer. We are not in a computer simulation. Maybe we are in some different kind of simulation. So that's what we're going to experiment more with. We're going to, I've talked to Dustin about this, and we're going to change the verbiage and try different verbiage and see if what kind of results we get. And I started to think as well that if we are in some type of simulation, there may be some default settings within the simulation to lead us away from knowing that we are in some type of a simulation. So it's possible that my attempt to basically hack into this simulation may have been met with a default answer that distracts me away from basically tapping into this simulation, or like I say, hacking into our simulation. I think that remote viewing in general is, the act of remote viewing is we are hacking into this simulation. We're hacking into it. We're hacking into the fabric of the universe, or the fabric or the nature of our reality. We're basically hackers. And so this is a big question, big interest, big curiosity of mine and Dustin. And we're going to continue on along these lines to explore, see how far we can hack into this simulation, if there actually is one. So I hope you find this interesting, and many more to come. Test, test, test. It is October 19th, 12:08 in the afternoon. I will be doing an ARV session. This is the question here, referenced as 9471. Question is the reality that we exist in a computer simulation? If I describe image A, we are living and existing in a computer simulation. If I describe image B, we are not living and existing in a computer simulation. So that's my inquiry. Do we exist within some type of hyper-advanced computer simulation? It's a yes or no question. Dustin, my friend Dustin has selected the two targets. They have been labeled A and B. He does not know which image is associated with A, and he does not know which image is associated with B. He does not know the question, but the targets have been selected. Okay. 9471, 9471. 9471. 9471. Got volume, I'm recording. 9471. Flat, round, tubular, long. I'm getting some random thoughts here. One is advanced, that's more like an idea, and the other one is an arrow. Also branch. Also branch. Smooth. Getting these random thoughts in. Deluxe. Angular. Large, moving. Vertical. Deep. Inside and under. This is an idea here that there's kind of something that kind of goes or is embedded into. Embedded into. Sloping. Green. Blue. Flowers. Flowers, and because I am getting, I'm getting some type of shape like that. That kind of reminds me of a flower, but that kind of shape, like a fan or a windmill, that kind of thing. Large, green, sharp, and pointed. Looping. And voices. People. And this is an idea. People standing still. People standing still. You know, like people standing still. Now, this is giving me also these kind of comparators of like the sun, this shape. People standing still. Voices. People. People and voices. So this is big. This thing is big or large. Or large. Yeah, this could be connected here. Getting comparators to the Easter Island. The Easter Island statues. I'm kind of getting this idea, like that. Something like that. Comparators are like a propeller, or like a Celtic cross, or a windmill, something like that, or like a fan. The shape reminds me of that. The people, there are people there, voices there. I'm getting a sense of outside, grass or grassy, you know. I'm getting like an outside scene here. Yeah. Purple. Gold. Green, yellow. Flashy. Moving. Keep getting this looping, which is typically my people thing. Solid, stony. Grand. The idea of grand. Object. What about this now? What about this? What about this? What about this? Silver. Gold, metallic. Inside, angular. Large. The idea of a picture. This is an idea of a picture. Or like a camera. Or a camera. You know, the idea of like taking a picture. So obviously the feedback photo is a picture, I know that, but there may be other elements of maybe somebody at the time may have been taking a picture as well. Earthy, kind of earthy feel to it. Earthy and ground. Smooth. Tall. Tall. What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's try. Let's see what else. What else? What else? What else? And this is the one answer. One answer. 471 9471. This is an idea coming in. Limited. Limited. Also the idea of triple or 3. 471 9471. Edged. Angular. Large, moving. Green. Mechanical. Sparks. Sparks. Lights. Gripping. Texture-wise, gritty. And smooth. There's another image here. Image of another shape. Another shape. Shape. I'm getting a comparator here of the Sphinx. I don't know how do you spell that. I can't spell right now. I can't. I don't know how to spell it. Sphinx. The Sphinx. In a big object kind of way. Big object kind of way. Moving. I'm feeling a displacement here. Of dancing. What do I want? I want perceptual descriptions of the answer associated with the one answer. Glassy. Smooth. This feels glassy to me. Glassy, reflective, glassy and reflective, and people are around. This glassy and reflective. either horse or horizon. Horizon. This is glass. Anything else about this? What does it do? What is the main? That's the question I want to ask. What is the main? Okay, as far as this is concerned, what is the main concept behind it? What does this represent? What is the main? What is the main idea behind this? What is it? What is the concept behind it? What is the beauty behind it? Beauty. The beauty behind it. What else? Grand again. I mean, this kind of grandiose feel, spectacular. What else? What else about this? There's movement around it. What else? Beauty and grand. There's life around it. Or life around it. It has to do with life or something representing life. Something like that. I think there may be enough. If something actually did happen here, there may be enough to tell, or there may be enough to associate with the answer, or the image associated with the answer that I'm looking for.